Hello, and welcome back to the spoilerCast, the show where we talk about movies if we don't care about spoiling them. And welcome to this final spooky episode of October 2023. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusty co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
And since this is coming out right before Halloween, we thought we should really end this Spooktober season with a bang. So we went and saw the scariest movies in cinemas right now. Yes, it's the dreaded Five Nights at Freddy's. Ooh, spooky.
Ay,
yeah. Yeah.
well,
We this is your fault, Rebecca.
I know.
You said, "Oh, we got to do it for the clicks," and I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
Alright, so we went and saw it. We just came back from watching it, and now we're gonna talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
let's just get into it. Let's get this over with. What did you think of Five Nights at Freddy's?
it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. It was bad. It wasn't scary. It wasn't interesting. It was slightly confusing. And just,
It was funny here and there.
Sure, but
I guess that's it.
yeah, that's about it. It had two jump scares that actually made me jump, but it's because jump scares get me. So
yeah,
they weren't
that's
scary.
what they do.
It was just jump scares,
No.
you know.
Yeah, well, I should also preface this before we really get into the conversation, because I think most of this is going to be spoilers, but we'll get to that. Neither of us are Five Nights at Freddy's fans.
No.
We don't know anything about the lore.
No.
We haven't played any of the games. I played the first game, but I mean I think that was back like when it was new. I think
like
at least.
9 years ago or something.
When did it come out?
I found Markiplier's first video and it was 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
What year was that? 2013? 2014?
Yeah. So around that
Yeah.
time, I guess. I've seen bits and pieces of people's playthroughs and gave up because all I understood of it was, oh, you flick a screen and a button and then they're monsters and then they're not and then they're there and then you die.
Yes.
I didn't understand the game. I was like, this isn't interesting. This isn't scary even. I'm just not gonna watch it. I don't care. I'm not gonna play it. Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it was 2014, by the way. Yes, that's true. August 2014. And I remember, it was like the big thing back then. Back when, Let's Players were like the biggest YouTubers ever.
Yeah.
And I was, that was like in my period where I wasn't really uploading. I'd taken a long break. But I remember I actually thought hey, maybe I can, catch some views by making a Five Nights at Freddy's Let's Play, and I actually recorded one. I don't know if it's still on my channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, scroll way back and you might find it, unless I privated it, because it's not really what this channel is about anymore. But I think I played it until I died, and I was just like, well, that was dumb. And I just didn't play it, and I've never played it since. So yeah, it's been 9 years. A little more than 9 years. And yeah, since then there's just been 4 more games, I think, in the official series.
Yeah, and then a bunch of
fan games.
Yeah,
and
or
stuff.
wannabes, basically.
Yeah.
Is it Poppy Playtime or something? The same thing, kinda.
Yeah, I think they were trying to ape off Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I never watched anything from that either, but I heard of it. Yes.
Yeah.
But then, it became back then it was just ooh, this spooky game because it's scary when the animatronic bears come and go wah in your face. But after that, it just exploded, and I think a lot of that is from the game theory guy who made a bunch of Fnaf videos, as they call them.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. And just delving into the lore. I think I might be wrong, but I think he was the first one who realized that there's more to this than just a silly game.
Sure.
I mean, the lore is still silly, but you know what I mean. And it's just it's insane how for probably 5, 6, 7 years it was everywhere all the time. And then this movie now comes out just as nobody cares anymore.
Exactly.
Which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, like we said, we're not going to really discuss much of like the lore.
No.
Or compare the movie plot to the game plot or whatever. Because I don't know. I've watched some video that Wendy Gunn made. I watched like half of it and gave up. Because I didn't really care. I was like, why am I watching an hour-long video about Fnaf lore? So
also,
I just turned it off.
I'm assuming you don't have to know the games to be able to watch this movie.
No, as much as I know, this deviates.
Yeah.
It's similar, but it's not like, you need to know the game to get the movie. I mean, I don't think...
That would have been pointless.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I assume, like, most of the people in the audience where yes, had played the game, or at least watched the playthroughs.
I've never seen so many weird, terminally online teenagers in a room before.
Yeah, they all kind of crawled out of the caves or something.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I don't want to be too mean, but Jesus Christ, there were some real basement dwellers. And like,
I mean, I think we look kind of nerdy and weird sometimes compared to other people.
Oh, sure.
Jesus Christ, we were the normal ones.
But I mean, this were the ones, the pale, pasty, fedora wearing, I don't know, like
socially awkward, like awfully socially awkward.
Yeah, screaming memes and quotes like a fucking moron. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be elitist to BS. It's gonna be all over this. I'm sorry.
No, it's the people you see online.
Yeah,
and you imagine
who've grown up with Five Nights at Freddy's.
You just imagine them like, they can't be that way when they walk out the door, can they?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. We just saw them. Yeah. Bunch of them.
And I think that's even more like the people who like this and why they like it is even more interesting than the movie. But we'll get to that. We should just talk about the movie first.
Yes. But I guess you shared basically the same opinions of the movie then.
Yes, I thought it was overall a bad movie.
Yeah,
pretty damn bad. I thought it had potential, definitely. I think all the stuff that doesn't really have anything to do with the games, like the story of Mike, the main character, and his personal struggles, was actually kind of interesting.
Yes.
Because the plot of the movie is I'm just reading from IMDb here. A troubled security guard, played by Josh Hutcherson, begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. During his first night on the job, he realizes that the night shift won't be so easy to get through. Pretty soon, he will unveil what actually happened at Freddy's. That's not really what the movie's about,
very vague.
Yeah. What the story is about is you have a guy who has like tremendous guilt from when he was a child, when his younger brother was abducted, and he was, kind of in charge of, keeping a look,
keeping an eye on him.
Keeping an eye on his brother. So he has been struggling with this, and this event kind of ripped the family apart. The mom died.
Dad left. As far as I understand.
He said, they're hinting at that he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I read it as he killed himself. I don't know. That might just be me.
He couldn't take it, was all they said, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
so he's left to take care of his much younger sister.
Yes.
What we call in Sweden a sladdbarn.
Yeah. I don't know how you would translate that.
I have no idea. It's like, imagine you have like a 30-year-old brother.
Yeah.
And you're like 8. Your parents had you a lot later than your other siblings.
Yeah, which is
Sladdbarn.
where I just have to, because he was like 12 when his brother got kidnapped.
Yeah.
She's like, like you said, she's about 8 or something.
Yeah.
But he's like almost 30, right?
He must be around my age, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
30, sort of.
They were still together for quite a while, though, enough to get another child.
Yeah, well...
They were together for like 10 years until...
Like we said, that's all story stuff we'll get into, but they say that their mom just died a few years ago, so this might be kind of new setup that they're living with.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, yes.
Anyway. So he is struggling with this. So he's having trouble, keeping a job. Because, he has trouble just keeping himself afloat, really.
Yeah.
And staying sane. And he's starting reading into, like, dream theories, how you can, unlock lost memories, basically, that in your dreams. So
And
he's
maybe
trying to find out who stole his brother. Can he find the guy?
Yeah.
And when he starts working at Freddy Fazbear's, his dreams start evolving for some reason. And that's the part I found kind of interesting. It almost reminded me a little bit of The Black Phone, how it's kind of a ghost story, but more about the
person who's alive.
a character-driven ghost story.
Yes,
and I found it vaguely interesting. Unfortunately, there was this silly monster movie that got in the way. Well, they're not really monsters.
No.
They are child ghosts trapped inside animatronic puppets, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's too specific. Like, what do you... And this is just... They just blurt it out in the middle of the movie, and after that, everyone's fine with, there's child ghosts in these robots.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
And there's no attempt to explain it. There's no attempt to, rationalize it. They're just... I guess we have to live with that now. No. You can't just wave this away. How are the child ghosts stuck in the machines? How can a ghost control a machine? I guess the ghost in the machine, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
That has to do with the soul. So all this is just interspersed in between his dream sessions, and then there's this. They try to add more of a human element where his aunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah. His aunt wants to get custody over his little sister, but, she doesn't want to do it because she cares about the little sister. She's doing it because she wants the state-mandated alimony or child support. Yeah, exactly. So there's that aspect as well. There's all these things to try and humanize the main character, Mike.
Yes.
And that, like I said, that stuff is pretty interesting. But then this stupid animatronic puppet ghost story gets in the way.
See, thing is, that entire story would have worked way better if you didn't have the Five Nights at Freddy stuff, specifically like the name and then the animatronics. It would have been better if it was more like in The Black Phone, just ghosts.
It could have just been that he got a job where he had to stay up at night, which he's not used to.
Just a night shift.
I can't work
thing.
nights. I can't do nights. He says in the beginning because he wants to sleep at night,
and also because he has his sister. You got to be home when she's asleep.
Yeah,
can't leave her alone.
It could just be that he is stuck at this terrible job. You can even have that there's some sort of connection maybe to it.
Sure, but it doesn't have to be.
Even though that connection turns out to be retarded in the end.
Yeah,
you could change that around.
You don't need animatronics. You don't need the faces of the Five Nights at Freddy's people, and you definitely don't need the title. It's just that's just been for sale.
Yeah, it could have just been Josh Hutcherson.
Night Shift.
Call it the Night Shift, and it's him trying to find his brother's abductor in his dreams, which is kind of cool. And the more he dreams, the more he's able to control his dreams, and all that. But, the more you control your dreams, maybe there's, something to... Maybe you could, maybe sleep paralysis demons are actually real, or, something like that to make it more spooky. Just get rid of the dumb robots!
Yes, literally.
Because that's also another problem with this. For me at least, Five Nights at Freddy's is a silly, thing. It doesn't... that's not specifically a bad thing. No. But it is a silly premise.
Yes.
Ooh, it's creepy because they look cute and they want to kill you. This classic, creepy doll thing. It's a cute doll, and that makes it scary when it tries to kill you, Chucky or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Annabelle, classic.
Yeah. I'm just contending the word cute here because I don't know if any of those that you mentioned are cute. And neither are the Five Nights.
They're supposed to be cute, sure. Because it's a
neither
cute
is
doll.
Freddy Fazbear or whatever, or the other ones.
No, I suppose, but they're supposed to be cute.
Yeah,
you make them vaguely sinister because that's what makes them scary.
They used to be cute, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So trying to make this sort of interesting, dramatic story doesn't really fit, especially when this movie is supposed to be it's for kids who grew up with Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, they had to have a warning sign outside the cinema going FYI, this movie is in Sweden, rated 15, 11 with parental guidance.
Yeah, so
whatever.
basically it's a PG-13, which I think is fine, though, because there's barely any blood or violence in the movie.
No, but it's like, because they knew a lot of like 13 or 14-year-olds would go try and want to see it alone, and they're like, no, I'm sorry, no, you can't, you gotta be 15.
Yeah. But they should have just gone for the silly, campy stuff and have him go there and realize, like, oh shit, the puppets are coming after me. I have to, keep a lookout for them and close the doors, like the gameplay.
Yes. Basically like the cold open.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that's what the audience wanted. And instead they got this, tragic story of child abductions and stuff. I mean, that is part of but I know children disappearing is part of the lore.
Sure.
But, the main character, I mean, there's never really been a main character in the games. It's you.
Yeah.
But since you have to have a main character here, don't make him, part of that. Make him just,
a random dude.
An innocent bystander, who gets all this told to him. It's such a weird mix of, like, actual,
serious.
serious dramatic stuff and dumb, silly monster movie. And, there's not enough time for either of those to really gestate and become something good, so it just feels half-baked, all of it.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's bad, and there's not much I like. At first, I was like, Josh Hutcherson is pretty good in this.
He did fine.
But then, towards the end, it's just like, no, he just looks tired. And not like in a good way, just like, he doesn't want to be here. Like, his last scene when he's in the hospital, spoilers, whatever.
Well, don't say anything.
And he's giving his final monologue there, like, it was just like, he's just reading this off a cue card.
It's like he lost a bet or something.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Yes.
And even, like, Matthew Lillard, who I thought was, like, at least we're going to get Matthew Lillard, chewing some scenery, having fun.
Yeah.
He's, first of all, barely in the movie. And then, I don't know, he was also just bad in the end.
The first scene he's in is fine. He's pretty good.
It's weird, but yeah.
Yes, but it's, like, it was a good weird. It was him weird.
Sure.
You were supposed to get these weird vibes, because he was a weird guy. It was fine. But then in the end, you're just like, yeah, okay. I did like the, I'm not sure it counts, but for me that was a tiny Easter egg. The knife thing.
Oh, he does the ghost face move where he wipes the blood off the knife in the end, yeah. Spoilers, Matthew Lillard turns out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
This is the spoilercast, so I mean.
Yeah, and with that, I'd say we're done talking about, the movie.
Lofty about it. This is gonna be, we need spoilers now.
Talking about, like, filmmaking or directing, like,
nah.
There's nothing special going on here. The director, what was her name? Emma Tammy.
I have no idea who that is.
I think she's done, like, music videos, probably done commercials before. She's done some stuff before this. She's worked a little bit with Blumhouse before this. But this is not, this is just point the camera at the thing and shoot. There's nothing that sticks out directorially here,
No.
And the writing, like I said, is all over the place, which is, and we'll talk more about that because it is partially written by Scott Cawthon, who made the games.
Well, yeah.
It's not just, like, based on ideas or he has, like, input for, like, this is the lore. No, he's involved in writing the actual script, together with Seth Cuddeback, who I don't know who that is, and then, of course, Emma Tammy was involved in writing it.
Yeah, so Seth Cuddeback, he's done, like, a couple of shorts, and one thing called Mateo in 2014.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Nah, me neither.
Yeah. So that's it's like a general, like, recommendation. No. Unless you're a diehard fan, I guess. Because it seems like the people behind us and in front of us, they seem like, ooh, they. But I think they were just there to go like, ooh, look, Freddy is on screen. They don't think they really cared about the movie.
No.
They were just there for the Easter eggs, which there were a few, of course.
I mean, the entire fucking movie is basically an Easter egg.
Yeah.
And the animatronics are there, that's all.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted.
If you're 13 and you've grown up with Five Nights at Freddy's, and you've watched all the lore videos and all the game theory videos.
That's kind of weird though, because we just said that the game came out like 9 years ago. If you're 13, you were 4 when it came out.
Yeah, but you maybe played some of the later games when you were a little older, and then you went back and played the original.
In my world, this movie would be targeted towards people our age, because we could have watched and played that game when it came out. We were about 13, 15 then.
Yeah, but I think the what do you call it?
The cult, I was about to say.
Yeah, the
phenomena.
The interest in the games peaked like 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Because that's when you had the full story was finally revealed in number 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And you had the full lore was finally revealed and everything like that.
So everyone revisited the original and just kept
yes,
going.
I think a lot of people, probably younger people, the TikTok generation or whatever, they probably found this like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And they were 10 then, so they're 17 now, or something like that.
I'd still say this came out way too late to catch that wave.
I'm sure that's partly to do with the
pandemic.
Pandemic, yeah, exactly. Pandemic. But even if it came out in like 2019, it would have been a little too late, but it would have been better at least. Just see if it says something about. It was revealed in 2020 on the subreddit for Five Nights at Freddy's that they were working on the movie. So yeah, it has been in work a while before this. So I'm guessing it was delayed by the pandemic. But
maybe
still,
it also
even if
took
it came
a
out
long time to just get like everything the way people would accept it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I still think it would have been too late. Like 2017, 2018 would have been perfect because then it would have been peak Fnaf mania. But anyway, so yeah, I think we both say don't watch it.
Nah.
Like we said, unless you're like a 14-year-old Fnaf addict, then I'm sure you'll love it. Everyone else, stay the hell away.
Yeah, you're not gonna. We just kept sitting there going, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. And that's what we're going to talk about now.
Yes.
So spoilers, if you care, we're going to spoil stuff now. Spoilers, you have been warned.
Yeah.
Let's go. So,
where do you want to start?
I don't know where we want to start. Okay, I know where I want to start.
Okay.
Like we said, the whole thing that the puppets are inhabited by the ghosts of kidnapped children.
Yes.
And they want a friend? They want a friend, or they want to kill more people for some reason. What the fuck is... How is that... like a thing in a movie? Like, and you're not gonna explain it.
Oh, they did. They did explain it.
They explained it?
Yeah, no, they were manipulated by the yellow bunny, by, what was his character's name? Steve Raglan. Or Matthew
Raglan,
Lillard.
yeah, or Afton something.
Yeah.
His real name. William Afton. That I know is from the actual lore. His name is William Afton, the guy who built the machines.
Right.
Yeah, but why did he want to put them in the dolls?
Because he was a child kidnapper.
But that's too specific.
No, but that's all he did. He kidnapped Mike's little brother, and he kidnapped these 5 children and put them in the suits. I don't know what he did with the what was the brother's name? Garrett? Yeah, Garrett. Yeah. I don't know what he did with Garrett. He just kidnapped him. Yeah. For no apparent reason.
And then he didn't kidnap any more kids?
No.
So he just stopped?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
That's where the issue is. Because if he had like, okay, I kidnapped them because I wanted to, like, I don't know, put ghosts in all of the machines. Fine, then 5 kids would have been enough.
Why does he want to put ghosts in the machines?
I don't know, because he's dumb. Yeah, I know. There's no reason for it. I know.
No.
But then they fuck it up even more when they make him kidnap Garrett, which we don't know what he did with him. He's not in one of the machines.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And then he wants to kidnap Abby for no apparent reason. I mean, he does say that he wants to kill Mike for one specific reason, and it's because he happens to be Garrett's brother.
Kill both brothers, yeah, sure.
And then I guess when he finds out that Abby's their sister, sure, let's kill her too.
What a goddamn coincidence that he pretends to be a career counselor and happens to help the older brother of a kid he kidnapped like 15 years ago.
He probably is a career counselor.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, now I am mixing up the game with the movie. In the game, and they talk about it here as well. He built Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria because he liked kids, of course. We talk about his love for children. But he also loves building machines. So the machines, why would he stop with that and become a career counselor of all things?
Because the place got shut down because of the kids going missing? Okay,
so the place got shut down, but why become a career? Like, it's too many coincidences. Like, why would you become a career counselor? Why not start working as an engineer, like building train tracks or whatever?
Or just building other animatronics.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to Disney World.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, the Jim Henson workshop who built the puppets for this movie, he could have worked for Jim Henson, whatever. Because nobody knew it was him who kidnapped the kids. Like, he was fine.
Obviously,
maybe he was disgraced, but
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation. I don't know.
And the fact that they so nonchalantly go like, well, the ghosts of 5 children in these dolls, let's have fun with them. Like,
yeah, they all just accept that there are ghosts here. Abby can talk to them, and they're her friends.
Yeah, they're her friends. But they also kind of don't like adults for some reason.
Yeah, because they don't trust other adults, I guess.
Yeah, but it's also like, why don't they trust adults,
Because Steve Raglan told them that they shouldn't.
But they seem to trust the police
Vanessa?
Girl.
Yeah, because she's the murderer's daughter, so he's like, but she's fine. She's not going to rat us out. And they're like, okay, we'll be fine with her then.
And her consistently, like, not just telling him about this. You're like, why won't you just tell him? And then they have, like, a throwaway line at the end, like, oh, all you were supposed to do was keep him here so I could kill him. It's like, oh, so she was in on it.
Yeah, because, it's her dad. You gotta help your dad murder people, right?
Yeah, but...
but you're a cop.
But why? Why would she help her dad kill people? What was her motivation?
Why did she become a cop if she knew her dad was a murderer?
Yeah.
If not to arrest him.
It's too many just like, well...
Or maybe she wasn't a real cop. Maybe that was just a costume and she stole shit or something.
She did get like calls over the walkie-talkie though.
Yeah, that's true.
It would make no sense to fake that for no reason.
No, that's true.
And I think all of this is just like, so this is classic like writer's room. There's like, oh, so we need to get the daughter of the killer in there to kind of, facilitate Mike staying around and telling a little bit of the story so the audience will be interested, but not tell enough. Okay, but why would she come by the shop? She can't just go there. That would be weird. She can't be another security guard because there's only supposed to be one security guard. Maybe she's a cop who has Freddy Fazbear on her beat, like she says. Okay, so it's all just convenient stuff. It's just, what can we do to make this make sense? It feels like.
And they all still failed.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, typics or what it's called, whiteout, copy paste over this, screw this, remove that, put this in here. It's a fucking hodgepodge, the script.
Yeah.
And it's terrible for it. It tanks the movie. Like we said, like, focus, for fuck's sake, and focus on what's actually interesting.
Yeah.
Which is Mike's struggle.
I honestly thought this would be like a one character movie in the dark where there's shadows and creepy things and
that would
all
be better.
You see is like, we don't need Abby, we don't need Vanessa, we don't need the killer, for Christ's sake.
No, we just needed the
animatronics and the security guard.
Yeah, and instead of him being stuck in the control room, it would be him running around, getting away from them.
Sure, or in like, walking, because he heard a weird noise, or he thought he saw something moving on the camera, so he has to investigate, and then he gets scared and he goes back to the camera room or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, those kinds of slow burn scares. That's what I thought this was going to be.
Yeah.
Not
But then
like 3 random kills. Well, 4, I guess, if you count the cold open.
Yeah.
And then just playing with the animatronics.
Yeah, which was honestly the best scene where they were like having fun and building pillow forts with the animatronic. It was like, oh,
sure.
So they're gonna be like good guys now. Kind of like that.
It was also so malplacerat.
Didn't fit.
Yeah, it didn't fit in. It was like an entirely different movie.
Yes,
for like 10 minutes all of a sudden, which ended so abruptly as well because she touched the guitar.
Yeah,
I don't understand how that made her get electrocuted. I thought it was gonna be like razor wires or something, and her fingers would be cut off.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But it would also be too violent for the little kiddies.
You don't have to see it. It doesn't have to be like Saw, where you watch every single detail of them get cut off.
Honestly, I think they just needed to move on. So like, oh, now we can't do this anymore. So Vanessa says, oh no, we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Because she's conflicted or whatever. And then move on to next scene. Yeah, it makes 0 sense.
Yeah. But
then I also want to get, because... Oh, our vast audience. Sorry for the audience we have. I appreciate you, but still. I usually talk about that what's scary is what we don't know.
Yes.
Like, the fear of the unknown. So explaining how the puppets, or how the ghosts got into the animatronics, that's just ruining it. It's scary if we don't know.
Hell, having the animatronics move like 20 minutes into the movie was too soon. Like, visually, you saw them running around. It wasn't just shadows or, like, in the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
They were, like, right there.
Yeah, but what I want to get to is, when you have something so very specific and so bizarre, like, the ghosts of children are trapped in animatronic animals, that is so very specific. So at that point, you're like, wait a minute. I need an explanation to be able to accept this. Like, the perfect example there is Alien. You don't really need much of an explanation. There is an alien creature on board and it wants to kill you.
Yeah, it's a predator.
The movie Alien, yeah. There's hints of where it comes from, like the eggs, we see the space jockey.
Sure.
But, I mean, we understand it. It's an alien
It's literally just
creature.
A monster that's gonna eat you.
Yeah. It becomes more involved in the later movies, which it's why the sequels ruin the original, even though I like the third movie.
Yeah, watch our videos on that if you want more.
Yes. But here, the initial monster is so weird. She's like, stop, can you please explain this?
Yes, but they don't.
Make it make sense. There needs to be internal logic. That's also a thing we talk about. Internal logic. And there is none.
No.
How did... Even if they're like okay, so... The guy, Matthew Lillard, whatever his name is, Matthew Lillard put the children's bodies, because we know they put the bodies in the animatronics.
Were they dead already?
Yes. I think they died in the because they're, the things holding the animatronics together.
Yeah, that's like one of my main questions, though, because that thing, they show us one doll which is open, and it has these, like, I don't know what they called it, spring mechanisms.
Yeah, spring locks
to keep the animatronics safe when people wear the suit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
that doesn't make sense either.
But the spring locks still attack Matthew Lillard's character while he's wearing the suit, after he's been wearing the suit for a while, just because the outer suit breaks a little. That makes absolutely no sense. And also then, how the fuck did, like, he put the bodies in, and because people were wearing these for work. Yeah. How did no one realize that they were children's bodies in the animatronics? Like, did they all of a sudden go, no one needs to wear them anymore, and no one questioned it? Or so many, like, I don't know if it's technically a plot hole, it's just missing details that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And like we said, that is so specific
That you kind of need to explain it.
You need to have it explained. You can't just say, "Oh, well, it's scary." Yeah, but Jesus Christ.
No, it's not, though.
It's not. Well,
it's not scary.
Spooky. There's children's ghosts in the machines. That's scary.
It would have been scarier if you actually, like, opened the machines up at one point and go, "Oh my God, there's that." Like, if instead of Vanessa telling Mike, "Oh yeah, he put them, there was one place he didn't look," me.
Yeah.
Instead, he would have accidentally opened one of them, and out falls like a child
corpse.
Or a skeleton, and you're like,
it's been in there for 20
holy
years.
shit.
Yeah, sure.
He didn't even know about the missing children. It would have, honestly, would have been more exciting if he went in there going, "Yeah, this is creepy, because, the missing children."
Yeah.
If he had a reason to be afraid, it would have been scarier. He had no reason to be afraid. Sure, he got spooked the first time he ran into the dolls, because he apparently... I mean, I probably would have reacted the same way, because I don't like dolls. But we don't get, like, a hint that he doesn't like dolls, except for the little jump scare because of the dude in the locker.
Yeah, just doll.
Yeah, the little balloon boy.
Yeah.
That's not telling us he's afraid of dolls, because he didn't react strongly enough. And then his reaction to the animatronics is also like, just, this is just uncomfortable, because anything with eyes basically is uncomfortable when you're alone at night.
Yeah. It's the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, you need to have more of a specific connection. You need to have him going, shit, this is a haunted place almost, because, the missing children, and I am deeply terrified of dolls, but I'm gonna take this job anyway. Something like that.
Yeah.
The character needs more depth before he can get scared. Because now no one was scared. We weren't scared. Mike wasn't scared. Fucking Abby wasn't scared. Vanessa wasn't scared. No one was scared of those animatronics. How were they supposed to be scary?
Well, Max and her friends were scared. Because they got murdered.
Yeah, but that's because they got attacked. That's not because... Yeah, sure, one guy gets a little spooked because the refrigerator is moving. But then just that plastic cupcake eats his face, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's what's scary. They kill you. That's what's scary. That's what's scary.
No, but it wasn't scary.
No, but that's the base level that we're talking about. That's what makes, weird basement-dwelling teenagers scared. Like, oh, scary doll! I mean, that's the level of intellect they're on. I'm sorry. That's it. You don't have to do anymore.
But it's better made in the video games then, isn't it?
I don't know.
At least then you have more of the shadows and the lurking and the, oh my god, it moved.
I guess.
Or did it?
Like I said, I've only played the first game once, 9 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
I've never watched any
like,
Let's Plays or anything. I have no idea. But
either way, it didn't work in the movie, obviously, because no one was scared.
Yeah.
If you were scared by this, then you're fucking brain dead.
No, but it's scary because it is scary to the fans because it's scary in the video game. So they see it on the screen and go, that's the thing that scares me in the video game.
Yeah, but
therefore I am scared now.
But it needs to work for people who hasn't played the game.
No.
And it doesn't.
No. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. But what I'm trying to get at is... what? So the guy kills the children. Is he deliberately how do the ghosts get into the picture?
I don't know.
Does he know that they become ghosts in the puppets? Or is that just a side effect?
Was that the plan all along?
Yeah, was he making ghosts?
Is he a magician?
What is going on?
I have no clue.
That annoyed me more, and that's just... and we're never going to get an explanation to it, because this is, I think, there was not really any sequel bait here.
No.
There is the scene where it's like, oh shit, the killer is still alive, but it actually ends with him being like tortured by the suit, and you see the child ghost close the door, like, we're closing the door on this now.
Yeah,
He'll be tormented for all eternity in the back rooms of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
This is,
of course, you can make a sequel out of that,
yes.
But they won't, because this movie's gonna tank.
Oh yeah, did you see the Metacritic score?
Yeah, it was like a 30, right?
30, yeah.
I haven't read any reviews. I saw Jeremy John's thumbnail.
Even like
he was like, ooh.
the rating on IMDb is a 5.8.
Yeah.
It's just above medium.
That's not good for a like fan favorite like this. That
No.
should have been higher because all the fans love it. Oh jeez, there's 5 reviews. Yeah, and the best one is a 40.
It's averaging
wait.
on
No, 71
2.9 at Letterboxd.
2.9?
Yeah.
That's pretty good though. That's like half decent. That's like a 5 out of 10. It actually has a 71 from Paste Magazine. From yesterday, October 26th. We're recording this on the 27th. They say, mostly, Five Nights at Freddy's relies on a lot of jump scares and scenes with building tension that result in a cat and mouse scenarios, which are perfect for the age range it's playing to. Sure, that doesn't make it a good movie, though. It's made for kids. Okay. Then RogerEbert.com gives it a 5 out of 10. Five Nights at Freddy's has most of the right elements for a good post-Amblin kiddie fright fest. Except maybe good dialogue and distinct characters. Watching the movie, one gets the sense that the game's moored personality has been sanded down to its most generic jump scares and banal revelations. Yeah, because it's the lore that people love so much. And then, a bunch of middling stuff. And the worst one is, what was Associated Press, I've never seen them before here, gave it a 0.
Hey!
Caught between PG and R, as well as lost at the crossroads of inadvertent comedy and horror, the PG-13 Five Nights at Freddy's has to go down as one of the poorest films in any genre this year. Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, I wouldn't
Honestly,
give it a 0, but that's pretty good description.
yeah, the reason a lot of people are giving it like 3 stars and up on Letterboxd is, oh, it's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just, thing I know. Gotta clap for that. It's Star Wars. It's a recognizable IP. Oh, I love the games. That means I must love the movie, right?
Yeah.
That's like I said, that's the people we're dealing with. That's the level of intellect we're on here. Sorry, that's just it.
Yeah.
They try to elevate it a little bit with
a lot of
with the
people are
story
going
stuff,
like, oh,
the
it was.
stuff.
They went to see it for Matthew Lillard. They went to see it for Josh Hutcherson. Childhood crush Josh Hutcherson, who now looked like a destroyed old man, basically.
Yeah, it looks a little schlubby, but maybe that's for the role. I don't know.
And I don't know. There's and some people fangirling over Vanessa being pretty. Apparently,
whatever.
The cop lady.
She was fine. Elizabeth Lale. Speaking of actors, though, like I said, I don't like to dunk on child actors, but goddamn, Piper Rubio's Abby was awful. No
I don't think she had a lot to go for.
No, of course not.
Like, they wrote her to be, but she's this introverted kid because she has a traumatic
past.
Past because her parents left her, literally. They abandoned her. So she's just weird and talks to her imaginary friends. So I guess...
Sure, yeah, I'm not putting it all on her, but her performance was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sorry, Piper, if you're listening to this in the future.
Hopefully you get a better role next time and maybe a better director as well, so you can actually do good stuff. Who knows?
But
what
then,
is this whole people are going like horror? Is that a sound from the video games? I don't know.
I don't know. The only thing I recognize from the game is that humming do-do-do-do-do-do-do when they were walking towards their victims. And I think you heard a little bit of the music you hear right before Freddy comes into the control room. I remember there's like a ding, 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 ding.
All I recognized was Freddy Fazbear, the bear, and the chica, the chicken.
I recognized all the dolls because, like I said, I played the game.
I didn't recognize the fucking...
Okay.
The terrifying fox.
Yeah,
dude,
the
how's that
fox
like
thing.
a funny kid's character even from the beginning?
I don't know. It's got robot legs and a hook arm.
And an eye patch. He looks like the villain in something. He looks like the villain of Bamse. Like a Bamse on the 70s or something.
Swedish cartoon,
Yeah.
Swedish comic, I suppose, and cartoon.
Whatever, kids show.
It's
I haven't rated it yet, but honestly this is like a 1 star.
It's a 1, yeah. But
the more I think about it, the more I hate it.
I want to talk about what I find the most annoying about the movie.
Sure.
And that is because I heard something, like we said, we heard people talking right as the credits were rolling. People were like, oh, memeing and mentioning, oh, that thing and that thing, and I saw this thing, and we were coming down the escalators, and we're like, oh, so he killed his daughter, blah blah blah, and I'm doing a lot of like, there's a lot of conjecture, a lot of me assuming, generalizing, but like I said, the plot here is terrible, and what little I know of the actual lore or the backstory in the games is pretty bad, and especially if it's anything like this movie, it's just bad writing.
Yes.
So and then it's so weird that it's become so popular then, because it isn't the lore that has become popular. The game is like second to the lore now, but I think I know why it has become popular, and it's not because it's well written. It's because of the like the serotonin release when we
figure stuff out,
like a mobile game. Yeah, so people played the first game, and there are little hints at like, oh, okay, so these aren't just scary puppets; they're actually like demonic or something. But what is it? So then in the next game, and in like, I don't know, blog posts or whatever, they start revealing the backstory. Probably. Yeah. They start revealing the backstory. And then it's like, oh, that's why. And it's not that it's particularly interesting, but it is like at least a resolution. It's an answer to a question people had.
Yeah.
But then the second game, of course, has, I don't know if it's a cliffhanger or whatever, but it has more mysteries. It's a mystery box.
Yeah.
Kind of like Lost, you had to keep watching. You have to keep playing. You have to keep reading the lore because I need to find out. Not because it's good, just because I need to quell that instinct in me to, I have to know. So it's almost like a drug. And then this goes on, like I said, for 5 games and countless, other,
internet posts.
Yeah, exactly. And after a while, it's not that you're just, it's almost like you're conditioned. So, like, it's like when you follow a TV show for a long time and you don't notice that the quality is dipping because you're just so invested that you're like, oh, I don't care,
it's my favorite character still.
Yeah, like Sand Through the Hourglass. Those are the days of our lives. Yeah, I know it started as like a feud between 2 rich families, but now we're out in the swamps and creating monster men. But that's, because it's a slippery slope. It's a little bit that literally happens.
Yeah, no. The only thing I remember
from the 90s, I remember because it was on TV in Sweden then.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from
monsters.
It is there's an hot air balloon that goes missing, and the person comes back with like a huge diamond, 10 years later. What the fuck?
But the thing is, you can't see the forest for the trees then. You're like, okay, that's what happened to my characters. But if you just took a step back, you realize that that's terrible writing. It's awful, it's bad, and you shouldn't like it. But you do because you're so invested.
It's monkey brain,
Yeah. And I mean, and that's what's so awful about this. That it's not well written. It is just activating that thing in your brain that makes you go, oh, need to know more.
Yeah.
And it's a good example for why I think it's not the same exactly, but a lot of that is why I think the Marvel movies are still popular. I mean, it's starting to wane now. Like, people are actually like, wait a minute, these new ones are bad. But for a long time, it was like, you had the cliffhangers, you had the post-credit sequence, where like, whoa, now I have to watch the next one because I have to find out.
You know what the issue is? You know why that has started to wane? Because they got rid of the original characters. They're dropping them like flies.
Yeah.
So they're losing that my favorite character. I need to know what happens to him next time. I need to know what goes on more. I need to follow his life. Yeah, but Captain America's dead. Tony Stark's dead. Or something. I don't actually remember.
Yeah, he died.
Right.
Because he did the snap, and Captain America got old because he traveled back in time.
Exactly. Like, your favorite characters are dead now, so you don't really care anymore.
Yeah, and that's kind of
when the franchise.
That's kind of when the spell is lifted. You're like, oh wait, these movies are terrible.
Yeah. If I don't have Captain America's ass, then what am I looking at?
Yeah.
Or Robert Downey Jr.'s charm, then what am I looking at?
But do you see what I mean with this?
Yes.
Then, like, why people are so invested, and that's why you have. I just quickly YouTubed it. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos dealing with, and a lot of it is from this game theory guy, which he had a cameo in the movie. That was kind of funny because I think
he's game
the
theory.
guy is so annoying.
Yeah.
He was the waiter at the diner, and he literally said, "Well, that's just a theory," and I was like, "Oh God, no."
See, I only know him from like he did these like murder mystery things with a bunch of YouTubers. Great shows, by the way. He did like 3 seasons of that. Amazing. Everything else he's done, I don't care.
Yeah, but I know he has made his Five Nights at Freddy's theories. Let's see. He has a playlist. It's 65 videos that he's made. This guy made his career on Fnaf lore videos.
Jesus fucking Christ.
The latest one was 13 days ago, called Game Theory: Why You Hate My Theories, Fnaf. Yes, like Fnaf, Bonnie's Haunted Past. FNAF,
who the fuck is Bonnie?
That's they're introducing more puppets in the later games. So Bonnie, I guess it's a bunny puppet or something. FNAF Buried and Forgotten, FNAF The AI Uprising, FNAF I Solved Ruin, whatever Ruin is. FNAF A Family Rebuilt, Ultimate Timeline Finale. There's an ultimate timeline within this playlist. Okay.
I found a video from a year ago. It has 5 million views. It's FNAF lore explained in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna watch ever on this because I have to be honest. Us talking more about this is opening the lid on that little monkey box and making me want to know.
You see, you have to know now. You have to know.
It's more like, and I can't go around just like people knowing and I don't know.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. And now you're gonna watch it.
If you're people talk about it,
you're gonna get more clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not watching. You mentioned Wendigoon before.
Yeah, Wendigoon made a video. It's like an hour and 20.
Yeah.
Where he goes through the plot or the story or whatever in chronological order, I think. It's well produced, but I like I said, I watched it for like 20 minutes and I was like, then it was like
to the point.
I came out of my my hypnosis and like, why am I watching this, and turn it off.
Yeah,
it was like when I was halfway through The Walking Dead season 4, and I'd hated everything in like season 3 forward, and I was like, why am I watching this? And I just turned it off.
I went halfway through season 1 and went, this is dumb.
Oh no, first season is good though.
Maybe it was halfway through season 2.
Season 1
when they got to like a
lab. The season 2? Yeah. And it turns out
they had like seeds and shit, and they
go there because they think there's going to be a solution there. It turns out there is no solution, so the place explodes and they leave.
Yeah.
That's the end of the first season. I thought that was great as its own little story.
That's the end, though. Why did they keep going?
Because you gotta know, and we gotta make more money. That's why.
I fucking hate humans.
Yeah, I know.
We talked about this last week, I think, off the air, obviously. You mentioned Mission Impossible in the movies, and we started talking about the bad guys in Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't remember which movie we said it was, but
it's Ghost Protocol.
Has my favorite villain. Has my favorite villain of all time, and it's the only like logical. Like I would actually go with that logic in real life at this point. We should nuke the world and start over. I am 100% behind that. I don't care that me and everyone else will die. I give no shits because this entire world is so fucked. Like, if we could get rid of everything Five Nights at Freddy's, oh my god, if we could like reset that part. If we could reset some of the most dumbass series, video games, TV shows, movies in general. Just get rid of it. Please, yes, and thank you.
Yeah.
Sure, there are some things I would want to preserve somehow, but I'm willing to sacrifice them to get rid of some of this shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately, we do not have codes for nuclear launches, so we will not be able to nuke the world. No worries.
Also, it's not really fair.
Nah,
a lot of people want to live, so
sure.
I don't think we're judged during execution.
No.
But yeah, but
I totally understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Just quickly in Ghost Protocol, we get one clip of him talking to the UN or Congress or whatever. And they explain that basically he went crazy and wanted to kill everyone in the world. That's the only explanation we get. He's like, yeah, perfect. We need a great reset, and I'm going to bomb everyone. That's my theory. And then people were like, no, and he became a villain. Yeah, that's it.
He's like, why are you stopping me? Let me nuke.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Perfect villain. And
I
think that wraps up our talk of Fnaf.
Yes.
I'd nuke it, so I don't get to see it.
on a micro level, it's just a really, really poorly put together movie.
Yes.
On a macro level, it is the virus.
Yeah.
The virus that have infected not just movies, but that has infected storytelling, entertainment. Where themes, ideas, stories are not important anymore. It's just lore. Oh, what happened before?
Which we've talked about in so many other episodes.
Yeah, I know. But this is so to the point.
Oh, yes.
This is what it is.
Yes.
This is such a great example of how terrible entertainment is nowadays, or media, or whatever. That's gonna have to be it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for offending you, but I also feel sorry for you. You have been duped. You have been, led behind the lights. Try to snap out of it. And if you want to hear us complain even more, you should check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene, where our next episode is going to be a companion piece of this. We'll probably talk a little bit more about the lore, just to kind of compare. But we're also going to talk about the absolutely awful 2020 action horror movie Willy's Wonderland, which is just a straight up FNAF ripoff. Right. Now that's for later. That's for patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Check it out. For now, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. Tell your friends and family. Spread the word. We want to grow. And we'll see you in the next one. But until then, have a good one. Bye. The spoilerCast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It's produced and directed by Tobias Vedén, and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Daniel Geiso, Christopher Billén, Laura Kinney, Mom, Dad, and CK85.